I cannot say I'm a believer in God and don't trust him with everything.
She always got something to say. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, she did. No, she didn't. Yes, she did.
We gonna cry a little and we gonna laugh a lot.
I like her.
Hear real shit.
She keeping it real.
In the right spot.
Come on,
Let's
y'all.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm your girl Jamaica. Of course, if you are new here and you do not know what to do here, that is okay. I got the remedy. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and just like that, you are family. You are tied in, you are glued in, so death do us part. You are a jewel for the rest of my life, for the rest of your life. We're locked in. If you have been here and you are still here, you still just like rocking it with your girl, tuning in, commenting, sharing, liking, hopefully getting a word from it. Hey, so I just want to tune into this because this I just experienced last night, and I was like, oh my god, I want to share it in my video because I know if I'm experiencing it or did experience it, there's people out there that's experiencing it, and so let's talk about it. That's why we here. Even though we are Christians, I'm gonna direct this towards myself because it's so much easier for it to be relatable and transparent if I start with me first. Me. I am a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in what God can do. I believe in God saying who he is and seeing me in him. And just being like, I know who God says I am, so I'm confident. You know, I know I'm beautiful. I know that my sins and my trauma and the things that I've experienced don't define me as a person, because if they did, I'd be a lot of things that were not good. I'd be trash. I'd be like kind of in the worst. I believe as a believer that I am not held to things that have happened to me and held to things that I have done. God has given me mercy. God has forgiven me. I'm made new. I also know that because of who I am in the world, that I have not brought all of my traumas to God. And I was thinking about this last night. I was watching a movie, and the movie was like so digging into who I was and what I had experienced and the trauma that I had faced. And I was like, okay, I can't watch this movie. And it was because I'm like, after I thought about it, I said, the only reason I cannot watch that movie is because I haven't taken it to God. And I started to be like, but you're a Christian. You are supposed to take things to God. And for me, what I realized, if I take it to God, that means it actually happened. That's me taking it to God and saying, God, take this from me. And that's the good side of it. The bad side of it, which is not really the bad side, but the other side of it that's hard, is taking it to God and saying, this happened to me, and this is what I don't want to weigh on my shoulders no more. But it also just brings such realism to it. Like, God, that did happen to you. And even though I know God does not see me in that light, even though I know God will forgive me, even though God won't hold it against me, and I know these things, it's like taking a bad situation, it's like a family or a friend or something. You know they're going to forgive you because they're family. You know that they're going to be understanding because they're family. But it's like they'll know it. Like, dang, you actually did that? Or dang, that actually happened to you? And it becomes real when you tell it to them or you tell it to that person. And for so long, you've been trying to bury it. Like, for me, for so long, I've just figured if I buried that certain thing, that it will go away. I realized, no, it didn't really go away because I watched a movie, and it was 100% triggered by the movie. And I was like, can I watch this movie? And when I went home and thought about it, I was like, I haven't taken it to God. But I know the moment that I do take it to God, it becomes a real thing. I have to accept what happened to me. I have to now dig that up and relive that. And I think that's hard for a lot of us. I think it's hard for us, especially if it really hurt us, it really traumatized us, and then we spent so many years trying to bury it, so many years trying to get over it, so many years trying to push past it and act like we don't see it. But because we're just trying to cover it up, it does resurface when we're triggered by something, a movie, a person, a smell, a place, a food. You know, we're all of a sudden triggered by it, and it's because it is uncovering. Some stuff you just got to take to God. I'm saying this because it's some things, like that particular thing, that I have not taken to God. And I realized last night, I'm like, I got to take that to God. I cannot say I'm a believer in God and don't trust him with everything. I can't say that I love God and I know God has my best interest at heart and he is who I say, or I am who he says I am, and not take everything to him. I have to take everything to him. I have to lay everything down to him and then pray for strength in my mental state, that what resurfaces that I've tried so hard to bury doesn't make me sad. It doesn't cause me to go into a depression. It doesn't cause me to have animosity towards myself and possibly towards others, just out of like reaction. So I know there's people out there who like, I heard that same thing. You know, I've had stuff that even though I love God, I know God, that the moment I say it, it becomes real. The moment I put it out there to God, the moment I lay it at the cross, it becomes real. And that's the part that's hard for us, the part that becomes real, and we have to relive it and rethink of it. I kid you not, if you've been following me on social media, on Instagram in particular, I talked about how I was homeless and I used to go to Caribou because I would only have enough money for a sandwich at Caribou, like every now and again. And so I always went to Caribou, and I went to Caribou when I lived in the, which is going to sound crazy, I would go to the Caribou that was inside the airport, because I used to live in the airport until I got kicked out of the airport. And so it took me a very long time to walk into a Caribou because it gave me anxiety. Before, I just never thought about it. I just like buried it. And then I saw a Caribou one day. I stood outside and I was like, I have to face this. And I went inside the Caribou and like my heart was pounding really fast. And I started having all these thoughts. And I just like eased my mind. I was talking to God the whole time. And I was like easing my mind about it. I went up to the cashier, and not to the Caribou that was inside the airport, but the Caribou outside. And I ordered a smoothie. I don't know how to order from Caribou. I'm a Starbucks girl. I ordered a smoothie and I sat down and I made an Instagram video. If I can find it, I'll kind of share it. But it's also in my Instagram. And that was a good thing for me, because it made me so sad when I sat in that Caribou. Just everything I experienced regarding Caribou and the airport and just a whole slew of things just came rushing back to me. I felt it in my blood. I thought it in my head. I just was overwhelmed with so many emotions at once. But I made it past it. But this other trauma is way more severe. It's a lot bigger. And it happened during my time of homelessness. And I just buried it. And then last night it hit me. Like, at some point, Jamaica, you'll have to give this over to God. You'll have to uncover this trauma and face it and give it to God and trust that He's going to do with this trauma that He's done with all your other traumas, and that you will be saved from it, and that He will not condemn you, and He will not judge you, and He will love you past it, and He will show you how to love yourself past it. And so I just encourage other people, if you have a trauma that you have not taken to God because you're like, God's going to hate me for it, or I'm going to feel it and I'm not going to know how to deal with it. Let's take it to Him together. And this is what I love about this channel, is we're doing things together. This is not, I'm ahead of you guys and I'm just giving y'all the information so y'all can go do it. Like, no, we're walking this together. I just had this experience last night. Today is Monday. I'm like, let's do this. So I just want to come on here and say that to you guys, because again, I'm maybe not the only person dealing with this, or who have had this thought, or who has these problems and have yet to take it to God because they don't know how. I don't really know how, but I'm going to just start with praying about it first. You don't have to hurry up and just risk everything and throw everything to God, because it don't work that way. But you can go to Him on your time, and He'll be ready for you at your time. But I 100% believe in taking it to Him and not holding on to it, because I'm holding on to it and I really feel like it's time for me to let it go. Time for me to let it go. Time for us to all let it go. We used to have one crying session. For real, we used to all get on the live and just like put our problems out there and motivate each other and cry about it, and just like, because it's different when you cry by yourself and you feel like you fall in this depression, but it's different when you're emotional and vulnerable around other people and they're uplifting you in that process, so that even if you're expressing that emotion, you're not sitting in it, because somebody is encouraging you to say, no, I understand, I'm holding your hand, I'm here with you on this process. Yo, listen, what? Don't make me let us all get together. Okay? So I just want to come on here and say that, because again, I experienced that last night and I just wanted to share it. And if you're feeling that way, you don't have to openly say it in the comments. Feel free to share what you want to share, but you can message me, you can DM me on Instagram, Snapchat, whatever the contact is here. Feel free to do it. If you want to put it in the comment section below and talk about it, I'm here. I just want to come on here and say that to you guys. Quick video. Happy Monday. Go about your Monday with beauty and stride, and know that God is in your corner. God is in your favor. Whatever door does not open for you is not meant for you, so do not feel bad about it not opening. That just means that whatever's behind it needs to stay there, because it's not for me. So go ahead and make sure you're taking that beautiful message along with you. Follow Instagram, Snapchat for anything you don't get to see here, for a little bit more direct connect to me and to me to you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for commenting and sharing and posting and doing all those beautiful things that you guys do to get us to that next level, because we're going to make it. We're going places. We're going together. And on that note, I'm out of here. Peace.